was like, there's no audio and the video doesn't work. Anyway, I think we're good. So here, just look at that camera, make sure I'm in the center.
You're in the center.
Cool. All right, you guys. So hopefully the live is kicking in. We're going to be live on YouTube and Facebook. For some of you guys that have never worked with me or any of us here, my name is Matthew, and we have kind of an educational project known as the School of Multidimensional Intuition. So what we're going to be doing here today is a little bit of a continuation of the work that we've been doing over the past year for some of us, over the past 6 months for others, and for some of us just barely beginning. So many people are knowledgeable within Qigong and how to open up the human energy field. Everyone has their own different flavor of it as well. And so what we're doing today is a little bit of an offshoot of modified Qigong routines that I've taken from a number of people in our community and our soul group and kind of just did my own stuff with them. And so we're going to be doing a little bit of that today. The idea is, the mission that we are on today is opening the energy body, creating grounding, openness, discernment, and clarity within the self. And the reason for that, this is also for you guys on YouTube, is later on today, we're going to be doing a past life remembrance or regression meditation process with Leah here, which is incredible. And so what we're doing is we're kind of setting up the groundwork with clarity, grounding, and openness in the energy body. So we're going to go ahead and begin. And if you can give yourself enough space, it'll be a little tight. If anyone needs to get closer, you can also get closer over here. But give yourself enough space. Put your legs a little bit more than shoulder width apart. And we're going to shape the tree. And it really is just a matter of waving your arms around and letting them gently slap the sides of your body. Why do we do this? Because it helps us open up the upper meridians, the meridians in your hands and your arms, the chakras in the upper body. And it's kind of like softening the pipeline, opening the tube. You'll even find that myself and others will make contact with our body, kind of slapping and moving. And if you want to get technical, you can take this hand as it comes up and hit right here on your shoulder. And you can also hit right back here on your back. And we don't do it hard, but we make contact with the body. It's like palpably opening and kind of tapping the outsides of a jar, helping the little bits of matter flow. And you'll already notice a number of people in here, your body's getting a little warm. You're feeling a little bit probably of sweatiness. You'll notice a few thought forms will kind of pop up. You'll think of people, elements of your day, conversations that you had over the last week or so, and you'll just get little pieces of it. That's what we're stirring up in the body. So we're going to keep twisting. We're going to make a minor modification on our twisting, you guys. Let's go to twisting stage 2. You're going to keep your head in the same position. And you're just going to twist the center of your body, and you'll notice that your thought forms will change a little bit. You'll notice that you even start thinking about maybe a slightly different person or place or element of your life when we do it that way. Keep going. Keep twisting. Some of us will get burps every now and then. You'll get a little bit of gas. That's a really good sign. Why does it happen? Why does it happen when we do this? Because not only are we opening the alimentary canal, that's from your tongue all the way down to your anus. It's the biggest pipeline in your body. But you're also opening up the central channels, governing vessel, conception vessel, pipelines of energy. So we're going to do one last variation on this twist. As we twist, we're going to twist our leg on that side. When we go this way, look how I'm doing it. We're putting one foot out. And you're just twisting. You're opening the body. Don't worry if you do it awkwardly. Don't worry if your legs don't turn right and you're like, am I doing it right? Yes, you are. The most important thing with Qigong is that you get moving and that you try it and you allow yourself to feel the energy. There is truly no wrong way to do it. Somebody in the astral realm just cringed when I said that. And yet, here on Earth, it's really about just practicing. So good job, everybody. Let's kind of let everything kind of hang. You'll know that Qi's flowing because suddenly you'll get this feeling like you want to move in a strange way and your arms will kind of wave and you'll feel silly. You'll feel semi-embarrassed. That's a good sign. So let's move to step 2, which is something we did yesterday. And for people that know our group and know the work that I do, you will know that there's one Qigong routine that I do above all others. I do it all day, every day. It's really not a routine. It's just a movement. The reason why it works is because it forces energy through your central channels. And so it's called carrying the moon, taught by this guy over here. I know it's an old practice, but I learned it from this guy. And so this is the one posture that I do above all others. I have also modified it in a very specific way that may be better, maybe worse, but I think it allows us to use more of the energy that's underneath us. And so I'm going to do it from the side here. But if you can, bend over as far as you can. You want to create like a scissor bend and tilt all the way over. Now, for some people, it's hard to put your hands on the ground. Don't worry if you can't stretch that far. The whole idea is you're just letting yourself hang. You're going to kind of move backward and forward like a weird metronome. You're going to swirl your hands around under your body, and it's going to be very much like you're swirling your hands in energy or liquid.
Somebody does yoga.
Really bring in the childhood self, your imagination. And it's like we're just swirling our hands around underneath us, moving it around. So you guys can watch me one time if you haven't done this before. We have a little bit of a twist on how we do carrying the moon. So we stir up this energy underneath us right here. Stir it around, and then I'll count from 3, 2, 1, and we go like this. Grab that energy as you breathe in. Pull it upward. It's like you're holding this ball of energy. You're going to bring it right up above your head. And right here, stop. Hold your breath. Put your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And then slowly release. When your hands get down here, you'll feel like you want to breathe in again. And when you do, suck your stomach in and take a reverse breath. So at the bottom, you go up. And so this is kind of a variation on carrying the moon. We're going to do that 5 times. For those of you guys online and also here, you don't have to follow my rhythm. You might find a faster one. You might find yourself wanting to rock side to side or move in a strange way. That's perfect. Allow what shows up. So we're going to do 5 of these. And so let's all bend over. For some of you guys, you'll feel more comfortable if your legs are farther apart. Some people can just bend straight over. Circulate that energy underneath you. The closer you can get to your childhood imagination, to the version of you that still exists in that world of pure magic, of pure make-believe. It's like a movie inside your body. Find that version of you. It's like you're washing your hands in a spectral river of light and liquid energy. And let's hold it up to the sun. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Hold it at the top, at the roof of your mouth. And then release it, bring it down. When you get to the bottom, take a small breath in. Suck your stomach in. And let it fall out like you're pulling the plug on a bathtub. The water just gushes out. And you'll notice when you pull that plug, it's almost like time pauses for a split second before the water rushes out. So you'll notice the pressure and the gravity build underneath you. So bend down, swirl that energy around. We'll do it a little quicker. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Reach in, pull it up. Hold it at the top. And then take that recovery breath. And then push it all the way down. I think that was number 3, right? Was that number 3?
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to do 2 more of those. The next 2, you guys, we're going to do it totally silent. We're just going to breathe. Don't worry if you do it wrong or if you do it weird. Just notice how you feel. Notice your mind. Notice the memories and the thoughts and the ideas, the desires, the words that show up in your mind. Let's gather that together in 3, 2, 1. You'll find that your body instantly just kind of wants to go back down. It's like you'll instantly bend over once again. And so let's swirl that around. 3, 2, 1. Here. Go all the way down. Very good. We're going to make a little bit of a change now. We're going to do kind of step 2. So the reason why we do that in the beginning is because it pulls the energy. It's like a manual grounding process. You'll pull it from all the way down here, and we're essentially pulling it up, and it sort of pours over you. And then, so what do you do after that? We start to kind of circulate it. We will start to use it. We'll sort of move it around in a little bit different way. But today, in preparation for the work that you're doing, we're bringing it internal. Sometimes you'll move that energy outward and you'll move it around. But today we're bringing it internal to our organs, namely 2 in particular, liver and spleen. Why would we work with our liver and spleen in a situation like this? So we can, number 1, release old emotions, things we are holding from previous stages of our journey, other people's processes, other people's wounds, other people's traumas, including our own, have an incredible ability to just influence your emotional state. For those of us that are stepping into another stage of identity in the human body, by releasing your spleen, you release the emotional quality, the emotional traps, the emotional blockages that keep you small, that keep us contained. And so it's very important to release that. Likewise, over on the right, for those of us dealing with long-term resentments, traumas, angers, rage, dissatisfaction, self-punishment, which also for those of us stepping into a new line of spiritual service, these are issues and emotions that stay in your body and can block you from being at your true potential, from doing the work that you do, and honestly, from making ourselves truly available from those that need our help. When we resent the self, it's very hard to put ourselves out there in a new way. So the reason why we're doing this today is to help those of us within our community, also those of you guys online, release the old shadows of self. And so the way we do this, very similar to what we just did. We're going to gather up some energy, but the organ cleansing process that I use, I'm having a hard time catching my breath. That's how you'll know energy's moving. All of a sudden you're like, And so the organ cleansing process that I use is what I believe is an offshoot of an ancient practice known as marrow washing. And so in old school Qigong, they would use a process of pushing Qi energy through the bones themselves. You're familiar with it. They would push it through and move it and essentially wash the internal parts of our body. With organ washing, what we're doing is we're pulling the energy in, much like we did with carrying the moon, but then on a reverse breath, we're actually, I'll show you guys how we do it. This is what we're going to do. We'll gather that energy up, bring it upward, but then we hold it here, and with your breath held, pushing a heavy weight, handfuls of water, handfuls of sand, moving those organs, and then dumping it out. So we're going to practice that a few times. For those of you guys here that have never done such a thing, you will probably feel a little bit like you're in an imagination zone, and you'll be moving your hands around through sort of invisible energies and wondering about what's going on. Notice what shows up in your mind and allow yourself to stay in the childhood imagination. So we're going to essentially do that again. And on our reverse breath, we're going to move that energy through liver and spleen. So, yeah, here we go. So if you guys are ready, we're going to bend over once again, just like we did before. You guys will know how to do this now. And let's spend a few moments just down here within this energy. Once again, think of where you are today. Think of where you've been this year. Think of the changes in your life. Think of the new faces, the new people in your world. Think of the changes. Think of the strange series of events that facilitated your arrival in this now moment on the earth plane. Just think of that for a moment and kind of move this energy down underneath you. Let's circle it around. So we're going to do the first one. For some of you guys, you can just watch me. Others will feel intuitively guided to do this in your own way. Some of you guys have done this with me already in group stuff, and so wherever you are in this journey, there's no wrong way. Let's do it together. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Now look at the difference with this. Watch what I do. Hands go out, Let your breath out. Recovery breath in. Pressurize your body. Hold that energy in your hands. Pull your stomach in, and with pressure, hold that breath, and then. Now, the way I do it is when I exhale, I actually create physical contact with my body. I use the heels of my palm, and I will press them into the right underneath your rib cage. Now, for some of you guys, this will help create an additional layer of change in the body. For others, it'll just be a gesture that you go through. But your liver and spleen are right here. And so when we move that energy down, we're actually putting contact and pressing it with your hand. So it's almost like you are wiping off the surface, except we're doing it with the internal liver and spleen right here. Technically, spleen's kind of in here. Liver's actually here, but let's do that a few more times. Do you have any questions on this process? Cool. Okay. So I don't know if there's any questions in YouTube land, but I think we're okay. Hopefully we're still connected out there. And yeah, anyway, we love you guys.
Just a bunch of thank yous and cool.
We love you guys, and I hope you're going to join in with us. So once again, we're going to be bending over, and let's circulate that energy. Now you'll know when you're doing this right, you guys, because as you're moving this energy around, yes, you will get memories. Yes, you will get conversations. Yes, you will get fragments of your day. And for those of you guys that sometimes feel emotional when you're doing energy work, these are signs that you are actually moving energy. Qi does not show up as an electric, invisible, strange spectral force for some people. For some of us, it is within our emotions. It is within our thought forms. It's a substance and an energy that kind of exists in many different forms. And so notice what arises in your body. Here we go as a group. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Bring it out. Take your hands. Bring that recovery breath in. Pressurize your body. For some of us, as we do this, you'll find it very hard to hold your breath. Some of us can hold our breath for extended minutes for a really long time. Do not allow yourself to confuse duration of breath holding with effectiveness or any form of quantifying when moving energy. It's really about your emotions and your intention. So don't worry if this is hard for you. It's really about putting your spirit into it. So you'll notice after we do this a couple more times, you might feel some coolness on your sides. Like you tell some of you are already getting it. Let's do that a few more times. Bend over. Breathe out. Circulate everything around. We'll do these a little quicker. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Split it out. Bring your breath in. It and let everything go down. After you do this a few times, you guys will notice there's a waviness, a smoothness. Some of you guys will feel like you want to rock your body back and forth. Do it. Go ahead.
Should we have our tongue at the top of our mouth the whole time?
You absolutely can. When I do carrying the moon, I just tend to do that. You will find that after a time, sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. I like to allow myself to be intuitively guided, which doesn't always mean that we do it the most effective way in that moment. I'd say just follow your gut, follow what they show you.
Cool. Connects the circuit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Connects with a chakra known as the Talu Chakra, which some people call Talu Chakra, which when we talk about connectivity of the third eye, or the way the third eye really works, as far as many of us can tell, it is a collection of energy centers that will operate in unison, one being the roof of the mouth, others being the causal chakras at the side of the head. There's a Bindu chakra in the back of the head. There's even another opening that some people call a zeal point, or a gateway at the back of the head. And then we have the regular old third eye, which if you want to get even more technical, is actually 2. There's a larger one for most people, and then to the right or the left, there's an additional opening, which is, I believe, part of the evolution of energy centers, but I think it's also kind of what we would call an energetic mutation, which is a kind of a crazy word, but similar to what we would call colobama within the eye, how you'll get an additional iris or an additional dot within the eye itself. We have a similar version that takes place within the third eye. Anyway, watch out, it'll go on a long anatomical chakra ramp. But we're going to do this 3 more times, you guys. And so we're washing the internal of the body. And then there is a step 3. Step 3 is our actual energy clearing process, which is a tone we're going to do. First, let's just kind of keep everything moving. So here we go. Let's bend over. Let that energy circulate around. We won't hang out down here too long. We just kind of swirl things around. It's like you're grabbing handfuls of energy. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Split it apart. Take those handfuls of energy. Pull it in. Wash the insides of the body. Hands down. You'll notice your body just goes whoop, right back down. You'll bend over once again and circulate that stuff around. Don't feel bad if you feel guided to go up before us, but we can also do it together in 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Split it apart. Bring it into your body like you were pushing it into your body as you do there. Right up to your rib cages right here. And yes, you can make an exaggerated exhale. In fact, in my opinion, it helps greatly to moderate the mouth sound or the exhalation pattern that you use. In some cases, you will be guided to exhale like somewhat of a steam valve. You'll hold pressure in your body and you'll let it out. Other times, we'll simply open and let everything flop out. You will notice after a time the way you exhale, the way you take that breath in is actually a tool that will change and alter the way energy flows between you and another person. So just notice the way your body wants to breathe. It's been a really big factor for me in allowing the breath to exhale in a certain way. One of the things we do in our classes is a different version of toning where it's like a vapor wave that you'll create with your body, and it comes from the practice of letting a breath exhale from your body without actually exhaling the breath. Which is a thing you can do. Strangely enough, we also learned that from Eric as well. So thanks for passing that stuff on. So we're going to do this 2 more times, you guys. We're going to gather it up, and then we'll do our final step, which is step 3. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go right back down. Swirl that around. This third one will be the easiest one at all, like a smooth ribbon of light that moves through your body. Allow yourself to imagine whatever way it shows up. Sometimes it's like a liquid or a gas or a cloud or a bubble or a feeling or just a strange mix of all those things. See what shows up in your body. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Off. Bring it in. If you feel guided, you can do one last one to just kind of top everything off. Do it at your own pace. Whenever you feel guided, you'll just reach up and sort of grab everything. Just let everything roll through one last time. All the way down. Very good. Let everything kind of float. You'll get yawns, you'll get burps, you'll get breaths, you'll get a weird kind of sweaty electric feeling that moves through your body. Sometimes you'll get shaky and twitchy, and those are all signs that your body's transferring and using non-physical energy. And so one of the most helpful things for me as a practitioner was understanding that it shows up in many different forms. One of the most powerful and commonplace ones is through your emotions, which is the one place where many people don't often go with moving energy. So for those of us that are uniquely suited to be within that emotional zone, you have tremendous advantages within this realm because it'll allow you to use that force in ways that not everyone else does. And so everyone has it, but some of us have it in a little bit of a different way, which is why when we start toning and directly using energy, which we're going to do in a moment, we're going to create a tone. You'll notice everyone creates a little bit of a different sound, a little bit of a different vocal thing. So if you haven't done toning with us before, don't feel awkward. Let yourself vibrate. Let your sound come out of your body. And anyway, what we're going to do is do 3 tones. One for the upper dantian, the center dantian, and the lower dantian. Similar to that we did yesterday. But when we move energy upward and downward and in and out, you have a very different experience with it. So for this one, we're just going to be standing. What we're going to do is hold our energy in 3 different places. We're going to start down here. And so the way I like to do it, which I know is a mudra for some people will put their fists together. I will kind of just grab energy and I'll hold it like a little handful. But I want you guys to hold it in whatever way you feel. Because one of the things that really helped me was not binding myself to other people's techniques. Other people would say, make a column of light and that'll protect you. And I was willing to do that, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. When I started doing it my own way, something shifted so dramatically for me that I believe that's the key for most of us. And so we're going to hold this energy right here under our belly button. Just like we did before, we're going to breathe. And you can even see my hands. It's like we'll stir things up and kind of swirl it around, just like you did underneath your body. It's like you're grabbing some things and what do we hold in our lower dantian? A lot of early childhood stuff, things that happened pre-age 6, the early years of our life when the world taught us the world does this, therefore we do that. This is the way people live. You can't have this or you can. The restrictions, the safety, the assurance, the foundations of our energy. And so we're going to have a few moments of silent breathing. I'm going to formally open a door into that area, which everyone can do, and you're going to notice some old memories come in. These are things that we're washing away with a big round tone we'll do in a few moments. So let's have a few moments of silent breathing. Honor what arises within yourself. Open the door in 3, 2, 1. Honor the memories, honor the emotions, honor the words, honor the blank space, honor the question marks, honor the annoyance, honor the frustrations, honor the beauty, honor the energy within you, even if you do not understand what it is or how to use it or where it comes from. Honor that energy. Count from 3 to 1. Take a big breath in. I'd like you to just join me in a vocal tone. Don't worry how your voice sounds. Just let it fall out. 3, 2, 1. you're ready, simply release that energy. Some of you guys will do it, others will do a cut, some of us will do a snap. It's very important to use your own gesture of this connection. Good job. Any questions before we go to the middle dantian? Did anybody notice some old emotions and strange scenarios arise within your body? Good job. That's the lower dantian. When we honor it, when we strengthen it, when we activate it, it's one of the elements of energy that allows you to really project your physicality outward. People that do this professionally, people like Eric and also myself, opening up the lower dantian is going to be one of the things that allows you to move energy toward a person from here to Japan. It's one of the things that's when it begins to flow and transmit. So continue to work with this area. Now we're going to move up here. Any questions before we go to the heart? No? Okay. Maybe there's questions on YouTube. We don't know. Any questions over there? Probably not. If you're watching us on YouTube,
feeling energized, feeling wonderful.
Guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is very similar. What we're going to do is gather energy, and this one's kind of where we were just clearing, because we were clearing liver and spleen. What we're doing is we're going to the solar plexus. And so once again, I've noticed a lot of people like to use this mudra. I tend to hold a handful of energy, but I want you guys to do what you feel guided. I've noticed some people will hold it like this, some people hold it like that. We're at the stage where you have full authorization to create your own technique and modalities. In fact, you may find that other people's won't work until you allow yourself to make your own. So however you want to hold that energy, we're going to hold it right here at the base of your ribs. And it's like it's going to be reaching your solar plexus, your liver, your spleen, your pancreas, your gallbladder, your lungs, everything right here, but also the energy center. So once again, we're going to hold this energy for a few moments of conscious silence. I will open the door into the middle dantian, and we will experience the themes of the heart, the themes of forgiveness, the themes of compassion, and the areas of our life in which we are creating softness, love, openness, availability, and a receptive frequency. So let's just hold this. We will open the door to the middle dantian. 3, 2, 1. Honor the difference in memories. Honor the emotions. Honor the thought forms. Honor the little bits of yourself moving around inside that snow globe of your internal world. Honor the faces, even the little bits of the people in this room that exist within us. It's an entire world within this space, and in there, notice the places that feel hard or unpleasant or sometimes painful. Those are the corners and the gaps and the ripples that we're smoothing out. So in the next few moments, I'll count from 3 to 1, and once again, we will allow ourselves to vibrate with one slight change. The energy is now green. Let's take that breath. 3, 2, 1. So we do have some visitors, just kind of like a whole hierarchy, little sparks you might notice up above your head as we go through this process. We just came in with the heart. So that's a good example of when we'll experience non-physical transmissions. And so for the third one, as we reach the visual centers and the upper connective field, you might even notice a little bit more of a quality of light. Some of you might see what almost feels like little sparks, little flecks of light in your kind of visual space, just because I can feel them showing up. You also might notice it in a whole different way. For many of us, it will be a really good example of what we talk about when we talk about our guides, ET energies, or just spiritual beings that kind of work with everyone. So when we tone and vibrate the third eye, the upper dantian, and all this energy up here, that's where we start to open up the abilities to perceive those things in maybe a bit more of a visual level. But you might not perceive anything visually, and that's because each of us has our own native sense up here. For some of us, it's sight, sound, touch, smell. Honor what senses arise when we go into this next space, because you might have a whole different experience than everyone else. And so for this one, it's a little bit different than when we work down here and down here. For this one, I like to put 2 points of contact on the upper chakras. For those of you guys that have done private sessions with me, I like to attach to the temples like 2 poles on a battery. But you might feel guided to do your third eye. You might feel guided to do the sides of your head. Some people do their crown. So this is a fun one because it'll be guided to where you feel the points of connection are necessary. I'm going to work with the temples though. So what we're going to do is connect with this area in whatever way you can. For those of you guys at home on YouTube, connect with your body as well. And just like we did before, we'll just have a few moments of silence, everyone, a few moments of consciousness. And within this space, this is pure mental body energy. So we will experience a little bit of all of the themes, all of the energies, everything that is present within the lower reaches of the body. There can be many energies in here. Sometimes like a screen full of static, a radio station that's just blaring out loud, and you'll hear a myriad of voices and sounds and sights. And so we'll have a few moments of silence, and I'll open the third doorway to the upper dantian. With this breath, we honor each and every one of you alongside us in this now moment on earth in the year 2021 in these physical bodies as we go forth into the next stage of becoming, transformation, activation, our true purpose in this body. We honor each and every one of you, the wonder of your Creator. Let's take that breath in 3, 2, 1. Notice the silence. It's a little bit of light in the corner of your eyes. As you kind of look around, you'll notice there's a little bit more. Sometimes you'll notice your eyesight goes a little bit farther to the sides. Anybody notice that?
Yeah.
It's like you can see over here. So that's a really good example of when we clear our liver. So that's resentment, anger, frustration, self-punishment. You'll notice when that starts to clear, you will see things in a different way. Likewise, notice your emotions throughout the day, how you feel, what shows up. That's your spleen. Yeah, any questions? Thanks, everybody. So this is in preparation for what we're going to be doing with Leah later. If you're watching on YouTube as well, we're going to be back at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I think in a couple of hours, it looks like. And so we're going to be doing a whole other process live on YouTube. So today's about warming up and getting ready for that. But yeah, any questions, comments before we officially close it? Cool.
That was great.
Yes,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank
job.
you.
I am also, one thing before we go, also on YouTube for everyone else, tomorrow morning, we're going to be having Eric Rains is going to be doing a process with us as well. So please do join in, tune in, and yeah, we get to have a whole new experience tomorrow. So anyway, thanks guys.
Thank you. fairly heady.
Good.
Oh, cool. It was only 48 minutes. Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
They'll grow.
Like you can feel it. It's like a big football shaped,
Yeah.
multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.